Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Podcast Every Day.
Woohoo! We're so glad you're here with us today.
Absolutely, Sarah. And if this is your first time tuning in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our amazing community of English learners.
Yes, do it. You won't regret it. We have such a fantastic episode lined up for you today, Alex.
We really do, Sarah. We're going to be diving deep into the power of starting from zero when your whole life changes.
Ooh, that sounds intense and incredibly inspiring. I'm already excited to unpack this one.
It's a topic that resonates with so many of us, especially when we face big transitions. So get ready for some insightful discussions and practical tips.
Let's do this. Stay tuned, everyone.
All right, so today we're tackling a topic that I think will resonate with almost everyone listening, diving deep into the power of starting from zero when your whole life changes.
Oh, Alex, that's such a powerful title. I mean, who hasn't felt like they've had to start from zero at some point? Whether it's a new job, a new country, or even just a new hobby.
Exactly, Sarah, and for our English learners, this topic is especially relevant. Many of you are starting from zero or at least a new beginning in your language journey. It's about embracing that blank slate.
Ooh, blank slate. That's a great idiom to kick us off. A blank slate means a fresh start without any previous commitments or prejudices, like a brand new notebook ready for new ideas.
Perfect explanation, Sarah. Another phrase that comes to mind when talking about big life changes is to turn over a new leaf. This means to start afresh, usually with the intention of improving your behavior or situation.
Yes, like when I decided to finally learn to play the ukulele. I had to turn over a new leaf from being a couch potato to someone who actually practices an instrument. It's tough, but rewarding.
That's a great example, Sarah. And sometimes when you're starting from zero, you might feel like you're back to square one. This idiom means you've returned to the very beginning after making no progress or encountering a setback.
Oh, I know that feeling. Like when I was trying to bake a fancy cake for a friend, and the first attempt completely collapsed. I was literally back to square one with flour all over the kitchen.
Hilarious, but it perfectly illustrates the point. And finally, a great word for embracing these changes is resilience. Resilience is the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, toughness.
Ah, resilience. It's what keeps us going when things get tough. It's that inner strength that helps you bounce back even stronger than before. So, whether you're turning over a new leaf in your English studies or finding your blank slate after a big move, remember the power of resilience.
Fantastic! So, with those key terms in mind, let's dive deeper into how we can harness the power of starting from zero.
All right, everyone, now let's hear a real conversation. Listen closely for those key phrases we just learned. Here's a chat between Michael and Nicole about starting a new career path after a big life change.
Hey Nicole, how are you doing? I haven't seen you in a while.
Michael, so good to see you. I'm actually doing really well, all things considered. It's been a bit of a whirlwind since I left my old job, but I'm excited.
Oh, right, I heard you decided to totally change careers. That's a huge step. So, are you like starting from zero now?
Pretty much. After 15 years in marketing, I realized it wasn't what I wanted anymore. So, yes, I'm definitely starting from zero. It's a blank slate, and honestly, it feels incredibly liberating.
Wow, that's brave. I don't know if I could do that. What are you going to do now?
I'm going back to school part-time to study environmental science. I've always been passionate about conservation, but I never thought I'd actually pursue it professionally. It's a complete turn over a new leaf for me.
Environmental science. That's really different. Did you, ever feel like you were back to square one with all your experience not counting?
Absolutely. There have been moments, especially when I'm looking at entry-level positions or thinking about student loans. It feels like all those years of experience are irrelevant. But then I remind myself that my transferable skills, like project management and communication, are still valuable.
That's a good way to think about it. It takes a lot of resilience to make such a big change, especially when you're older.
It really does. There are days I question everything, but then I remember why I started. My passion for the environment is what gives me that resilience to keep pushing forward, even when it feels like I'm taking 2 steps back.
I admire that, Nicole. It's inspiring. I've been feeling a bit stuck in my job lately, and hearing you talk about your blank slate, it makes me think.
It's not for everyone, Michael. It's a big leap of faith. But if you're truly unhappy, sometimes you have to be willing to start from zero to find something more fulfilling.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just scared of being back to square one.
It's a valid fear. But sometimes back to square one isn't a failure, it's a redirection. It's about having the resilience to pick yourself up and turn over a new leaf.
You're right. Thanks, Nicole. You've given me a lot to think about.
Anytime, Michael, just remember you've got this. And sometimes a blank slate is exactly what you need.
All right, everyone, welcome back. That was a great conversation between Michael and Nicole. Now let's break it down and unpack some of the fantastic language they used.
That was such a relatable conversation. I especially loved Nicole's perspective on seeing back to square one as a redirection, not a failure. So powerful.
Absolutely, Sarah. And right at the beginning, Nicole said, "It's been a bit of a whirlwind since I left my old job." A whirlwind means a situation characterized by great speed and confusion. It perfectly captures that feeling of a fast-paced, possibly chaotic, new beginning.
Oh, that's a brilliant phrase. And she also mentioned she was doing all things considered. That's a great way to say, taking everything into account, or considering all the circumstances. It adds a nice nuance to her positive outlook despite the challenges.
Indeed, and Michael's question, "So are you starting from zero now?" is a classic example of natural B2 level spoken English. The use of here is a common filler word in informal speech, indicating he's pausing or seeking confirmation without adding much to the literal meaning.
Yes, learners, don't overthink that like. It's just a part of how native speakers talk sometimes. Nicole's response, "It feels incredibly liberating," is also fantastic. Liberating means making you feel free and able to do what you want. It shows her emotional state about leaving her old job.
Great point. And then Michael says, "Wow, that's brave. I don't know if I could do that." His use of brave is a simple yet effective B1 adjective, but in this context, it carries a lot of weight, acknowledging the courage it takes to make such a big change.
And Nicole's line, "I've always been passionate about conservation, but I never thought I'd actually pursue it professionally." To pursue something professionally is a great B2 phrase, meaning to make something your career or job. It's a more formal and specific way than just saying, "do it for work."
Excellent. And towards the end, Nicole says, "My passion for the environment is what gives me that resilience to keep pushing forward." To push forward is a fantastic phrasal verb meaning to continue with an effort or task despite difficulties. It's about perseverance.
Yes, and when Michael says, "I've been feeling a bit stuck in my job lately," that's another very common and natural expression. Stuck means unable to move or progress. It's a simple B1 word, but expresses a complex feeling perfectly.
And finally, Nicole offers some wisdom. It's a big leap of faith. A leap of faith is an act of believing in or attempting something whose outcome is uncertain. It perfectly sums up the courage needed for a major life change.
What a rich conversation. So many useful expressions for our learners to add to their vocabulary. Remember, don't be afraid to take a leap of faith in your English journey. Now let's look at another really important side of this topic. Beyond personal discipline, how do our surroundings and relationships influence our healthy habits?
That's a fantastic point, Sarah. When we're starting from zero, especially with new habits, our environment plays a crucial role. It's often said that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Absolutely. This brings us to the concept of a support system. A support system is a network of people who provide practical or emotional support. It can be friends, family, mentors, or even online communities. When you're making big changes, having a strong support system is invaluable.
Precisely, and on the flip side, we need to be aware of toxic environments. A toxic environment refers to any setting, situation, or relationship that is unhealthy, negative, or detrimental to one's well-being or progress. It's like trying to grow a plant in bad soil.
That's a perfect analogy, Alex. And sometimes, when you're starting from zero, you might have to cut ties with certain things or people. To cut ties means to end a relationship or connection, usually abruptly. It can be hard, but sometimes it's necessary for your growth.
Indeed, a common mistake here is for learners to say cut relations instead of cut ties. While relations can mean connections, cut ties is the idiomatic and natural phrase in this context. For example, you wouldn't say, I cut relations with my old job. You'd say, I cut ties with my old job.
Good clarification, Alex. And conversely, you might want to build bridges. This idiom means to improve relationships between people or groups or to create connections. For example, after moving to a new city, I focused on building bridges with my neighbors.
Excellent example. Another common error is using make bridges instead of build bridges. While make is generally about creation, build is specifically used for constructing or forming connections in this idiomatic sense. Building bridges implies effort and strengthening.
So, whether you're trying to improve your English, start a new career, or just adopt healthier habits, remember the power of your support system. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, and don't be afraid to cut ties with what holds you back. Build those bridges.
Fantastic summary, Sarah. Your environment and the people in it can either be your biggest allies or your biggest obstacles when you're starting from zero. Choose wisely. All right, everyone, let's hear another real-world example. This time, we have Adam and Sky discussing their fitness journeys. Listen out for those new phrases we just covered.
Hey, Sky, you're looking really fit these days. What's your secret?
Oh, hey, Adam. Thanks. It's been a journey for sure. I actually had to completely start from zero with my health about 6 months ago.
Really, what happened? I thought you were always pretty active.
Well, I got into a bit of a rut. My old workout buddy moved away, and I just stopped going to the gym. My diet went downhill too. I realized I was in a really toxic environment for my health, mostly self-created.
A toxic environment? Like the snacks in your pantry.
Exactly, and my habit of watching TV instead of exercising. So, I decided I needed to cut ties with those bad habits. It wasn't easy.
Wow, good for you. Did you find new friends to work out with?
That's exactly what I did. I knew I needed a strong support system. I joined a hiking group and a local running club. It's been amazing building bridges with people who share my fitness goals.
That's smart. I've been trying to get back into running, but it's hard when none of my friends are into it. I just feel like I'm back to square one every time I try.
I totally get that feeling. But that's where building bridges comes in. You need to actively seek out a support system. Maybe find an online running community or a local beginners group. It makes all the difference.
Yeah, I guess so. I just feel like it takes so much effort to find new people.
It does, but it's worth it. When you're trying to turn over a new leaf, your environment is key. If your current environment isn't helping, you have to change it. Sometimes that means cutting ties with old routines or even people who aren't supportive.
That's a good point. I've been complaining about my lack of motivation, but maybe I haven't really built the right support system around myself.
Exactly. It's not just about willpower, it's about setting yourself up for success. And having people to hold you accountable and celebrate your wins is huge.
So you're saying I need to cut ties with my couch and build bridges with some runners.
Pretty much, and don't be afraid to start from zero. Every step forward is progress, no matter how small.
Thanks, Sky. You've given me a lot to think about. Maybe I'll check out that running club you mentioned.
Awesome. Let me know if you do. We'd love to have you. That's what a good support system is all about.
Great conversation. Now let's break it down and compare B1 and B2 level language.
Absolutely, Sarah, and this conversation between Adam and Sky is a fantastic illustration of how different language levels manifest in natural speech. Let's start with Adam's opening line. Hey Sky, you're looking really fit these days. What's your secret?
That's a perfect example of B1 level small talk. It's clear, direct, and common. Looking fit is a simple, effective description. A B2 speaker might use something a bit more nuanced, like, "You've really been putting in the work, haven't you?" Or, "You're radiating health."
Exactly, and then Sky responds, it's been a journey for sure. This is a lovely B2 level softener or hedging phrase. Instead of just saying, I worked hard, she acknowledges the process and effort involved without being overly dramatic. It adds a layer of naturalness.
Yes, and Adam's next question, "Really? What happened? I thought you were always pretty active," is another good B1 example. It's concise and gets straight to the point. A common B1 error might be dropping the auxiliary verb, like, "You always pretty active," which sounds less natural.
Precisely, and Sky's response, I got into a bit of a rut. A rut is a fantastic idiomatic expression meaning a boring or unchallenging situation. It's much more evocative and B2 level than just saying I became inactive or I was bored.
Oh, that's a brilliant one. And then Adam uses like again. Did you find new friends to work out with? As we mentioned before, it's a common B1 filler, but Sky's response, "That's exactly what I did," is strong and confident, typical of a B2 speaker.
Indeed, later Adam says, I just feel like I'm back to square one every time I try. This is a great use of the idiom, showing comprehension. However, the preceding I just feel like is a common B1 level softener, indicating a slight hesitation or personal opinion rather than a definitive statement.
And Sky follows up with, "I totally get that feeling." Totally get that feeling is a very natural B2 level way to express empathy and understanding, much more dynamic than just "I understand."
Absolutely, it shows a deeper level of engagement. And Adam's final line, so you're saying I need to cut ties with my couch and build bridges with some runners, is a brilliant summary, demonstrating his understanding of the idioms in a humorous way. This kind of playful application often signifies a solid B2 grasp.
What a great way to wrap up the analysis. It really highlights how B1 speakers communicate clearly and effectively, while B2 speakers add more nuance, idioms, and natural softeners to their speech.
Exactly, for our learners, pay attention to these subtle differences. Practicing these B2 level phrases and communication strategies will really elevate your English. All right, everyone, let's do a quick recap of everything we covered in today's episode.
Wow, what a journey! We started by exploring the powerful concept of starting from zero and learned key idioms like a blank slate, to turn over a new leaf, and being back to square one.
That's right, we also emphasized the importance of resilience in facing life's changes. Our first conversation with Michael and Nicole really brought these ideas to life, showing how someone can embrace a new career path.
And we broke down some fantastic vocabulary from that chat, like whirlwind, all things considered, and a leap of faith. We also touched on the natural use of filler words like, and the power of B2 level softeners.
Then we shifted to the critical role of our environment and social influence when starting from zero. We learned about the importance of a support system, recognizing toxic environments and the idioms cut ties and build bridges.
Our second conversation with Adam and Sky perfectly illustrated these points, showing how to build a new support system for a fitness journey and how to cut ties with bad habits. Sky's resilience was truly inspiring.
And we wrapped up by comparing B1 and B2 language levels within that dialogue, noting how B2 speakers add nuance and a deeper level of engagement with phrases like, "I totally get that feeling," and the clever application of idioms.
So, whether you're starting a new English journey or a whole new life chapter, remember the power of a blank slate, resilience, and surrounding yourself with the right people. You've got this.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's incredibly insightful episode.
It really does. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey of discovery about starting from zero.
We hope you found it inspiring and picked up some valuable vocabulary and idioms along the way. Remember, every new beginning is a chance to grow.
Absolutely. If you enjoyed this episode, please hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave us a comment below. Let us know what topics you'd like us to cover next.
Your engagement truly helps us reach more learners and continue creating content that supports your English journey. Keep practicing, keep learning, and keep embracing those new beginnings.
Until next time, keep shining, and we'll talk to you soon on English Podcast Every Day.